Hello, in this video I will share with you 100 new Samsung Galaxy features, tips and tricks in 2026. I'm really excited to share with you all of the features for the upcoming year of 2026. This video is going to be quite long, so you may want to get a coffee or a tea, sit back and watch this video. Get your Galaxy phone as well if you want, and follow the things that I'm doing if you'd like to achieve the same results. Now, the thing is that there's many different Galaxy phones, and some features that I'll show you may be only available on the S series, including the AI features, which are mostly available on S series Samsungs, but many of these features will also be available for all Samsung. Also, some of them will be for One UI 8.5, which is currently in beta version, but sometime in the future, I think on February 2026, it will be rolled out to everyone. So some of the features may not be yet available if you have the official version of One UI 8.0, not 8.5 yet. Now let's begin with the first feature, which is modes and routines. You probably know it, it's not a new feature, but it's getting more useful now. Let's go to settings and let's go to modes and routines in the settings. Now you'll find different modes that you can set up yourself, like sleep, theater, driving, exercise, and so on. Let's go to theater, for example, and set it up. You can set it to basic, minimize distractions, or custom. I'll set it to custom, and then I can customize everything myself. I can do when to start this mode. For example, when I'm in a certain location, and let's set a theater as that set location. Now, as you can see, I will need to edit it. I don't think I can edit it like that, so I may need to actually go to that place, and then when I'm there, I could change it. That's what it looks, because you can see I cannot really set a place. I know there's a theater here, and I could set it, right? Oh yeah, I can press and hold. Never mind. And then you can set a radius, and when you arrive, it will turn itself on. And then it will turn itself on. You can change the appearance, other actions, and everything. So this is the first feature. But now in One UI 8.5, there's a new thing that lets you go to routines, right, or modes. Yeah, that is going to be routines. And you will actually need to download it from Discover tab. In Discover tab, you have different routines that are prepared by Samsung. For example, the weather routines, which are, I think, really cool. There's cold weather alert, which will voice prompt you that it's cold and you should wear something warm. Umbrella reminder when it's gonna rain, so you never forget your umbrella. Or morning breathing, so when you stop the alarm, once you wake up, it'll tell you what's the weather and everything else. I think I'm gonna set up the umbrella reminder. And then you can see selected alarm dismissed, and you can select an alarm for which, when you dismiss it, you will be voice prompted about a certain weather condition. Let's save it. Now let's go to another feature, which is dynamic daytime wallpapers. We can see the daytime being changed on the wallpaper in real time. So the wallpaper will get darker when it's darker outside, and lighter when it's lighter outside. If you'd like to change it, just press and hold on your home screen, then go to Wallpaper and Style. Now go to Change Wallpapers and select Colors. Now you can select any of those two dynamic wallpapers and then select whether to apply it to lock screen or home screen. I'll just do the home screen and it will automatically adjust itself to the weather outside. I think that it's really cool. Now, another thing is going to be split screen and pop-up windows. These are two separate features that are really cool for multitasking. The split screen feature lets you move two apps to your screen at once. And to do that, go to the recent view and click on top of the tab that you'd like to open in the split screen view. Let's open settings in split screen. Then another app can be selected here. Here are some recents, but you can also select apps from your app library. I will select messages, and now you can see I have both the messages and my settings open on my screen at once. I can resize them even pretty much. You can see I can even sort of almost hide it. And I can use them at once. I can also tap here to do some other things like put it on the full screen, or the second feature, pop-up window. Now it will look like on a computer, right? A pop-up window that floats around. To open it, just go to your recents, tap on top and select open in pop-up view. I think that is extremely useful for a calculator. You can open it in your calculator in a pop-up view, and then you can simply do some maths whenever you need it. The next thing with multitasking is side panels. On the side right here, you have a side panel that is typically enabled, but let's enable it ourselves. If you don't have it, go to settings, then display, and then find edge panels. Now make sure it's enabled and you can customize it here. We'll get to that in just a little moment, but once we have it, we can slide it and have our favorite apps here, as well as some AI features, which I'll also take a look at in a moment. Now, before we do that, let's see what we can do in the panels. We can set different panels, and we can have multiple ones of them. The apps are perfect for me. I can edit them to add more apps here. I'd love to. Maybe some Chrome, maybe some Gemini, so I can actually ask it something pretty quickly. Maybe messages, because why not? And now, let's go back. We have the apps now, and there are other options available here. For example, if you go to the weather, you can add the weather. You can do some other tasks. Later on in this video, we will be adding additional panels that are not available here, which are also really great. But for now, let's see something else. You can connect multiple pairs of headphones to your phone, so you can broadcast audio to all of these headphones as long as they support the Auracast Bluetooth standard, which is becoming more and more available in the newest headphones. So you and your friends can now listen to music together without needing to share the same pair of headphones. To do it, go to the settings and go to Bluetooth. In connections, of course. Now click on three dots in top right corner and advanced settings, right? No, sorry. That should be there if you have the older version of the system. But if you have the newer one, the One UI 8.5, which is about to release on February, you can find it in somewhere else, which is now in the connected devices. And if you find audio broadcast here, you can find your name and the password for the broadcast. Then you can start a broadcast. Now you can even click on a QR code so someone can scan your QR code and connect to your broadcast and listen to your media. But of course that is for multiple devices. If you want to connect multiple headphones to one phone, to your Samsung phone, go to listen. Then if you have multiple if you have your headphones connected here, you can then connect to a broadcast. So, or just connect multiple devices of your own to one device and then set it up there, and everything will be connected to one device. Now let's go to another thing. Now this will be a part about Galaxy AI. As I said, we will be diving deeper into AI, and AI is getting better and better on Samsung. So let's see what we can do. The first thing is, of course, moving and deleting objects in the photo. So let's go to photos, go to our gallery, and then find a certain photo that we can move something from. Now, what you should do is click on this AI button. Now, you can see it shows you what you can do. And let's try the AI eraser. We can simply select an object that we'd like to erase. You can see it discovers it, it erases it, tap on erase, and it'll fill in for you what's behind the object. It's adding the missing pieces, and as you can see, it looks really good now. So you can get rid of some elements that you didn't want on your picture. Now, I'll leave without applying changes because I also wanted to move this. I can select move, tap on the object, then drag it somewhere else. Maybe let's resize it as well. And let's generate. Let's see how it goes. And it's done. The object was moved. So I think that it's a really, really cool feature. It especially works great with people if you want to move some person somewhere else on the photo. And now another feature is sketch to image. If you click create, you can draw something and it will put it on the photo. So I'll do a little drawing and I'll get back. I think it's going to be quite tricky. I drew some candles. I don't know if you can recognize it's candles. But let's try to hit on generate. Let's see if it actually knows what I've been thinking of, because my drawing isn't really perfect. But yes, it has added candles. And here they aren't perfect, but sometimes this feature works so good that I have nothing else to say. It really works good. And you can generate one more if the generation you think wasn't perfect and you'd like to redo it. Then you can see now it looks way better, and I will actually save this one. Now let's click on keep editing, and the new feature in One UI 8.5 is seeing your edit history. Once you save the editing, you can see the whole history of all the edits done. Now let's go back. I'm gonna save the copy. And yeah, you can see I've already saved it, so I could delete that copy. Yeah, I have two. As you can see, it looks really good. Now, some other things. Let's adjust one setting of Galaxy AI. If you want your pictures never to move out of your phone to some server that will process your image, you can process Galaxy AI on device, which gives you more privacy. To do that, go to Galaxy AI, scroll all the way down in settings, and find process data only on device. Now it will it won't use online processing. Of course, it may give you a little worse results or give you a little more weight when you're doing some stuff, but it gives you some privacy. Now, another thing with AI is AI Select. It's in the Edge panel. You can open AI Select. Now, you can circle across something that you'd like to select, and then it'll tell you what you can do with it. It gives me an option to photo assist. When I do it, I have the photo assist, and now I can erase something, right? I could also create a GIF. As you can see right here, there's an option for it. More on GIFs later, by the way. There will be a section about GIFs. And in many different other places, like if I go to some article, for example, then it will let me do other stuff about it. So let's try going to an article and let's try selecting that. And now I can set it as wallpaper for some reason. I can create a GIF. Now if I select this, I can do drawing assist, which is also another AI feature. And for many different things here, you can really select it. You can do writing assist. Let's see the drawing assist now. If I go to drawing assist and click on OK, then I can turn text into image. For example, let's do shop full of chocolate. And now let's generate it. Of course, you can change let's change it to maybe pop art. Yeah, let's change the style to that. For that, I would need to actually turn off the process data only on device, so it's just all up to you. You can obviously switch back and forth. And as you can see, we already have it, and that looks pretty cool. Now, another thing is going to be audio eraser, and that is going to be in the voice recorder. And not only in the voice recorder, but also in videos. So you can just erase some noises in the background that are happening, and that is really cool because you can achieve that studio voice without any distractions in the background. Let's try recording a short sound. I'll start clicking around. And I'll also start moving other things around to see how well it goes. And yeah, we'll see that. So now I can stop it. I'm gonna save it. And now let's try to edit it. That should be with the Galaxy AI. No, sorry. That is the button. That is the button. It is erasing noise right now. And let's see how well it goes with the noise erased. Sound, I'll start clicking around, and I'll also start moving other things around. Now, let's try listening to it without it being erased. Sound, I'll start clicking around, and you can see it has indeed done something, and it's really good. It's a really good change. Now, let's get out of that. Let's see one more thing. Interpreter. It can, in real time, translate. Let's click on continue. Then while using the app, okay, let's allow everything and select the language to translate from. And then you can just press on the button and it does that immediately. So you can translate between languages, works pretty great, and it's better than ever. Now, some more things about your security. If you'd like to ever hide an app, if you'd like to lock it somewhere so no one has access to it, or duplicate an app, which means there will be a normal app, but there will be duplicated version where you store your private things that you don't want other people to see when they get your phone, or for example, you want to hide some photos because you don't want them in your main gallery when you're going through the library and you don't want those pictures to be shown here. Then you can set up a secure folder. To do it, go to your settings and go to security and privacy. Then go to more security settings and find secure folder. Now, click on set it up real quick. It is creating a secure folder. You can set a password to it that may be different than your currently set password to your phone. And let's do it. I'll set a PIN maybe. And then you can also add fingerprints. I'm gonna add it, but if you don't want, because someone else has a fingerprint added to your phone, then you can of course deal with it somehow. Well, I'm actually setting up a fingerprint now, as you can see. So actually, I think it has changed now that I'm setting up a different fingerprint for my secure folder. So you can still use it even if someone else has a fingerprint to your phone. You can still just have your own fingerprint to the secure folder. You can also allow lock reset with the Samsung account, which is great because if you forget the password, you don't really want to lose all your data, right? Now, you can allow background activity or close all apps. I will allow the background activity. And now you can also hide the secure folder. We'll get to that later. Now you have some apps here, and this gallery is separate from the standard gallery that you have here. So you can see here I have some photos. If I select a photo, if I tap on three dots in top right corner, then move to secure folder, it will be moved. It will disappear from here and appear in the secure folder gallery. That is pretty cool. You can add more apps here, and these will be basically the duplicates of those apps. So for example, if you want to move your Facebook here, you need to log in here separately and log out of your Facebook account on your main Facebook app on your phone. So no one has access to your Facebook, for example. And now you can see the secure folder doesn't lock itself automatically. You can simply click on lock and exit, and then it will be locked. Or you can also just lock your phone, unlock your phone, and now to access secure folder, you need to verify the identity, or go to settings and just change it. So the secure folder will lock itself automatically after a certain time. Now, one more thing is that you can actually hide the secure folder. So now when I hide it, it disappears from here, and the secure folder will only appear in my quick settings. So let's slide down from the right top part of the screen, let's slide down again, and then the secure folder is right here. So it's even more hidden. Now it's time for speeding up our phone. Our phone is pretty snappy, this one especially because it's the S25 Plus. But if you want to speed it up even more, go to your settings, and now we'll get to something called developer options. You will need to go to About Phone and software information. Then tap on build number 7 times. Make sure that once you go to that developer option, don't change things that you don't understand, because it is pretty risky if you change the things that you don't understand here, because there's lots of different options that are typically hidden, so you don't change them accidentally. Now, once we scroll down some way, you'll find animation scale. You can set all of these 3 animation scales to 0.5, and now all your animations are really sped up. So that makes your phone feel more snappy, and if you like it that way, then feel free to do it. Now, one more thing in the developer options is DPI, called here minimal width. This is the virtual. It's the virtual resolution of your phone, which may make the elements on the screen larger or smaller. And I'm that kind of person that loves to have lots of different elements on the screen at once, so I love to have small elements on my screen. But if you want to make them bigger so you can see them better, then you will set it to have bigger elements. If you set minimum width to a lower value, the elements will be bigger, and otherwise if you set it to a higher value. Let's set it, but don't change too much. Let's try 320, and you can see now my elements are bigger. If I set it to, let's say, 280, that is impossible here. So 320 is probably the smallest, as I remember. Let's try 300, yes. And now let's try setting it to something, some more bigger value, like for example, 450. And now you can see the elements are smaller, so that is pretty cool. Now I don't really remember what the default was. I think that was the default. And yeah, that's how you change it. That is really cool. And if you want to make the elements bigger on the screen, you can also, because you can't really make them smaller normally, but you can make them bigger, even bigger, if you go to display and go to screen zoom, then just turn it all the way up. And now it's also, the size is increased. You can also change the font size and style, so everything can be really big if you need that. I actually like it smaller, so I'll do it that way, and maybe not as much, because I think it'll just look better on the camera if it's a little zoomed in. Now it's time for some customization of our phone, and you can see lock screen and AOD in your settings. AOD stands for always on display. This is your clock being displayed even if the display is technically off, because it's going to be on to display that, but you just have your phone locked and the lock screen isn't on. Let's go to always on display. You can enable it. You can disable or enable showing the lock screen wallpaper. I don't like the wallpaper being shown on always on display. It is too distracting for me. You can enable or disable the now bar, the bar that is displayed on the bottom. I'll leave that enabled. And now you can set it to tap to show, auto, or always. What I do myself, it may drain a little more battery, so you may want to change it to some other option. But as you can see now, this is going to be displayed on the phone all the time. I can tap on it twice to go to the lock screen, or just tap on the fingerprint sensor to unlock it. Now it's time for side button gestures. Your side button, of course, when you press on it, it turns off the phone. When you press and hold, it opens Gemini or Bixby. But now let's try doing some other things. You can go to your advanced features in settings and find side button. Now you'll find long press, and you can set it to digital assistant or Bixby, or the power off menu if you like it that way. But of course you can still access the power off menu even if it's set to digital assistant. Just press on power and volume down. Sorry. And volume up. No, you may need to press and hold on power and volume down. Yes, now you have the power off menu. Then let's go to double press, and you can enable it, then set it to something. And I, as an iPhone user, prefer quick launch Samsung Wallet, because I'm just used to double pressing the side button to open my wallet. So that's what I do. But you can set it to a flashlight, for example. Either turn your flashlight on or off. And there's way more other features. You can set it to any app whatsoever, by the way. Now it's time to find another gesture on our phone in motions and gesture, which is lift to wake, and that's also something that I'm used to from my iPhone. When I have the phone off and I just want to take a peek or just unlock it, when I lift it, it turns the screen on automatically, so I don't need to tap on anything. Just unlock it already. And it works especially great if you have face unlocking on your phone. Now it's time to see some other things in motions and gestures, which is double tap to turn on and turn off screen. Of course, you already saw how I showed you double tap to turn on screen. That is pretty cool. You can also turn off your screen if you're on home screen or on lock screen by double tapping. You can also do that on lock screen, but it must be some free space, unused space on your home screen or your lock screen. That's the only way it works. Now it's time to see screenshot methods. You can see palm swipe to capture. When you have that enabled, you can do a screenshot in a different method than the typical one. The typical one is power and volume down, but you can do it differently. You can, for example, use your palm like that and swipe it across the screen like that, and it takes a screenshot. That is also pretty cool. One more method for taking screenshots is sliding down from the right top part of the screen to open the control center, then editing it and adding a control. Now add take screenshot, and I will put it into this area. You can see how much editing it is there, and I'll tell you about that later. It is more like a new feature in the newest version of the One UI 8.5, which lets you customize it so much. Now I'll go into that tab and let's tap on take screenshot. It takes a screenshot as well. Now let's go to our home screen and see some things here. You can see we have some widgets by default, and let's try doing some other things with the widgets. We can add a widget by pressing and holding, tap on widgets, and now, for example, we can add a clock. We can add an alarm, so we can easily set it up. And let's try adding the alarm. I'll add this small one, click on add, and now I'll maybe move it to here. I can press and hold, go to settings, and select an alarm. Now you can easily turn it on or off by just tapping on it like so. As you can see, I have two widgets of the same size, and I don't really want it to take up so much space. I can just press and hold on one, move it onto another one, and now I have a stack of widgets. I can slide between them, and it only works, of course, for the widgets of the same size, I think. Yeah, but you can see it is pretty easy now to move around them. It's time for another thing, which is some camera tips for better photography. If you go to your camera, you can utilize the full potential of your camera by tapping here. You can see it's 12 megapixels now. When I tap it, it's 50 megapixels. So it takes photos in the full resolution, but it doesn't allow you to zoom here. So this is for if you want to take a photo of something that has lots of details and you want to zoom in later after taking the photo. But if you want to zoom in now, turn off that mode, and now you can change the zoom. So that is pretty cool. Now it's time for making your photos even better by going to more and pro mode. Now pro mode is quite complex, and I have explained it on the channel. So if you'd like to know more, just find any video of mine with camera tips for any Samsung phone, and there I explain the pro mode a lot, but you can basically adjust everything yourself to make the photo the best. One big tip is ISO and shutter speed. I would highly recommend that the shutter speed is the highest as you can and the ISO as lowest as you can. It's gonna make the quality of your photos better, but remember, shutter speed when set to too high, it may be pretty blurry, because if it takes 2 seconds to take a photo, it means I would need to hold my phone in one position for those 2 seconds. And that is basically what you can do here. There's lots of options. You can do a manual focus if you'd like. That is really, really advanced. And also white balance, which is also really cool to mess around with to have the perfect shots. Now, speaking of more things with camera, you can in standard mode enable motion photo. If I go to the camera, I can find motion photo right here. And now when I take a photo of something and I'm moving my phone around, or the subject is moving, Then I can tap on View Motion Photo, and it will appear as a short recording, but normally it will just appear as a photo. So it's better to capture your moments. And one more thing about making your photos more unique is filters. You can click on the filters in top right corner. Now you can select different beautiful filters for your photos to make them look more unique. And you can click on them to adjust the strength, color, temperature, contrast, saturation, and film grain yourself. So that is also cool. And you can click here, then find this plus button to select a picture to use it as a filter. Now it will create a filter out of the picture that you have taken. Now it's time to use our phone with just one hand. If you have some bigger Samsung phone, especially the Ultra series, but any other phone that is just too big for your hands, you can do two things to make it easier to use. First, let's go to settings and find advanced features as we were in before, and find one-handed mode. Now you can set it to gesture or a button. A button would be double tapping the home button, and a gesture would be swiping down. I prefer that one. I'm just used to that one. Now you can resize it. You can move it up or down, and you can move it left or right. Now I can use my whole phone with just one hand. You can see the screen gets a little smaller, so it's easier to access for me. And when you tap on the free space, it goes out of it. Now, another thing is one-handed keyboard that you can do. And to do that, just go into any place, and you can see I already have it. To enable it, click on three dots in top right corner of your Samsung keyboard and select one-handed keyboard. Now you can move it right or left to use it right-handed or left-handed, and that is pretty cool because now you can reach your whole keyboard. And click on this button to maximize it. Now, speaking of keyboard, you can do text shortcuts. So, for example, if your email is long and you don't want to type it each time, you can do a text shortcut. So it'll automatically fill in your email for you. And to do it, just go to your settings, general management, then Samsung keyboard settings, and find text shortcuts. Now click on plus and add a shortcut. I'll do double @ sign, and then the expanded phrase. And now let's click on add. Now whenever I type in the double @ sign, it will give me the option to click here to fill in that email. That is really cool. Now another feature for our phone, we're getting to display settings. Let's go to the display settings and find some cool features. You can change the resolution of your screen to a smaller one to save the battery, but it'll have a lower resolution, so the image may look a little worse, or to higher resolution. It will have the best visuals available. Now it's time to do an eye comfort shield, which is available here, and this is the adaptive or custom one. You can set a custom one or just adaptive. It'll automatically adapt itself. I like the custom one on a schedule, sunset to sunrise, and then I just set it to like whatever color temperature, and it really makes my eyes feel comfort once it's sunset. Because I don't really like the blue light at night. It isn't helpful when going to sleep. Now it's time for navigation bar, which is also in the display settings, and I, as an iPhone user, just love the swipe gestures. Buttons are pretty obvious. The recents button, home button, and the back button. Now for swipe gestures, Swiping app quickly, we'll go to home screen. Swiping app and holding, well, that opened my wallet, but yeah, you can see if I slide up like that, I have a wallet set, so. But if I slide up and hold, then it goes to my recents. I can go to the settings now, for example, and if I want to go back, I can swipe towards the center from the left or the right side. As you can see now in One UI 8.5, it gives you a preview of what page you're going to get into while going back. That is pretty cool. And now it's time for touch sensitivity, which is also in display. If you have a screen protector that makes your touches be not recognized properly sometimes, you can enable touch sensitivity for increased sensitivity of touch. And if sometimes in your pocket, your phone accidentally clicks on something, you can make sure accidental touch protection is enabled. Now, your phone will be protected from accidental touches when it's a dark place, such as a pocket or a bag. And let's get to another feature, which is going to be adaptive battery protection. We're getting to our battery settings, so let's go to battery. And now, if you go to battery protection, you can enable the adaptive protection or sleep time protection. It has different names. What it does, you need to have customization service on. Okay. Now, your phone will stop charging at 80% when you are asleep and finish charging to 100 just before you wake up, because it learns your charging patterns, and that's how it adjusts the charging, and it really saves your battery life over time, increases your battery longevity, and it's a really good feature. Now, if you'd like to charge something with your phone, you can do it wirelessly. You can share power from your phone to another one pretty easily by enabling wireless power sharing. Now, when I flip my phone and put another one on the back of it, it should begin to charge. As you can see, it is now charging. And it's charging using this phone. That's how it works. And it's really good if you want to charge your friend's phone or your headphones. Then it's time for fast charging. If you want to make sure that your phone charges as fast as possible, if you're using some fast charging power bricks, go to charging settings and make sure fast charging is enabled. That is going to make sure your phone charges as fast as possible. Let's go to Wi-Fi now, some connections things, and go to the Wi-Fi. Now, you can share your Wi-Fi with someone so they don't need to type in the password manually. You can just click on this settings icon and you can either just view the password or click on QR code, and then someone can just scan the QR code like so and join the network. Then it's time for customizing our control center, as I told you earlier. And now some of these customization features are only available on One UI 8.5, so you may need to wait until February, but some of them are available for all. Let's go to the customization, and now in here you can resize your icons like so. You can also put them into the area, into this area, or click here to get them out of the area. Then they will just disappear and you may want to just re-add them. Let's move them somewhere else. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll resize the brightness control and my volume control. Now let's move this one here, and I'll move my Wi-Fi and Bluetooth right over here. Then I can also add another thing. Let's click on edit, Let's drag the airplane mode out of here and let's expand it. And now it looks completely different. So if you like it that way, you can have it. It's time to change a setting of our control center, because I know some people would rather have just the notifications and the control center merged together. To do it, click on Edit, then click on Panel Settings and set it to Together. Now, when you slide down from any side of the top of your screen, this is what opens, and when you slide down again, you get the full control center. You can also customize these quick settings by clicking here, Panel Settings, and edit Top Quick Settings. Now you can edit what's in the top quick settings. And if you ever want, you can go to Panel Settings and reset the panel layout if you've changed too much and want to go back to the default one. Now it's time for some other customization features, which this time will be lock screen customization. If you go to your lock screen, you can change a lot here. You can press and hold. I'll unlock the phone, and now you can click on the clock. You can resize it. You can move it around anywhere to your screen, to the center, to the side, or any random place whatsoever. You can change the font, and there's some few new amazing fonts which have their animations. You can make them thicker or thinner, and you can change their color. You can change the style as well. I'll set it this style and set it here. And then you can also add widgets. Upcoming alarm maybe some gallery, and a routine. Then you can also customize these buttons here, and of course change your wallpaper. Then it's time for customizing something else on our home screen. Hold on a second. Unlock the phone. And if you'd like to customize your folders, you can do way more with folders now. I'll move it here to demonstrate. When I press and hold and tap on enlarge, it will be enlarged, and the first 8 applications in the folder can be opened by just clicking on them without going into the folder. And then you can click on the bottom right corner here to open the whole folder and see all the other applications that are not the first 8 ones. You can press and hold and click on settings. Now you can change the color of the folder, but also you can change the opacity. You can make it fully solid or fully opaque. And now it is transparent, and it looks like just some mini apps on your home screen. So I think that it's pretty cool. Let's see if we can remove the name. Yeah, and now we just have some mini apps on our home screen. That is cool. I'll move 2 apps out of this folder, so I don't need to ever go into the folder. Yeah, actually, you can see I still need to click on it to go to Google Meet. So let's move this one out as well. And now let's group these into a folder, and you can see how much you can do with folders now. It is time to see another new feature, which is partial screen recording. If you want to record just a part of the screen, not the whole one, because, for example, you want to record a TikTok and you don't want to record the bottom and the top parts, then slide down from the top of your screen and find the screen recorder somewhere. Select partial screen. You can select what audio to record and whether to show taps and touches. Start recording, and now select the part 2 of the screen to record. Then tap on record and it'll start recording after the countdown is done. Now let's stop it, and the recording is saved. Now, It's time to copy something and paste it into a calculator with a very easy way. As you can see right here, I got a message, and when I copy the whole one, I just press and hold, tap on copy. Now, if I go to the calculator, it automatically knows where the calculation was in the whole message that I have copied. I can click on it, and it automatically calculates it for me. While we're in the calculator, have you ever noticed this little button here? This is a unit converter. So you can, of course, convert like area, lengths, temperature. I love converting temperature because I never know what it is in Fahrenheit. I operate on Celsius typically, so I don't really know what 30 is. Now I know, so that it's pretty cool. But have you ever noticed, tip, you can change the subtotal. You can add the subtotal for, let's say, a meal. Then you can add a tip percentage and select how many people were there. For example, 4. And if you're splitting to 4 people, if the subtotal was 150, the tip was 30, then everyone pays 45 each. Now it is time to see some settings in the accessibility for dimming strobing. If there's strobing in some video, for example, that you're watching, it may be pretty exhausting for your eyes, and you can dim that strobing so it is not that exhausting to the eyes. And to do it, go to accessibility, and now you will find the vision enhancements, then find dim strobing. Now, whenever there's any strobing on the screen, which I don't really want to show you now, because I haven't warned you at the beginning of the video that there may be some kind of light strobes. But if that occurs on the screen, it will be dimmed so it's less distracting. Now it's time to lock our apps separately. So when you want to lock an app, just one app, have it somewhere here, still available, but you want it to be locked. Then, using the secure folder that we have created previously, you can do something like that. When you go to secure folder, open it up, and then open a certain app. Let's add Facebook here. I'll just add Facebook here. Then I can press and hold on it, add to home screen, and tap on add. Now it appears here. And in a moment, I'll hide the Facebook app from here, so it's not there anymore. And I just have this locked one, which I'll need to, of course, unlock if I get out of the secure folder, lock and exit. Then now it is locked, but I can easily open it from the home screen. So I think that is pretty useful. Now, to hide the Facebook app, you can just go to the settings, go to apps. No, sorry, that will be on the home screen settings. Home screen settings, and then hide apps on home and apps screen. Select Facebook, click on done. Now you have this Facebook still here, but that Facebook is unavailable anymore from the home screen, so it is hidden. And speaking of that, you can enable a failed authentication lock, which means if you leave your phone unlocked somewhere, and someone tries using it, and then they try to open Facebook and input the wrong fingerprint, it will automatically lock your phone. You can see it doesn't do that now. It just asks me for the PIN. But if I go to the settings, then go to security and privacy, I believe. And in security and privacy, I will need to go to the lost device protection, theft protection, and find failed authentication lock. I can enable it now, and you can see my phone is unlocked, right? But if I try to open Facebook, First, I'll need to lock the secure folder, though. Let's lock and exit. Now, if I want to access it with the wrong fingerprint, then it should technically lock my phone, which it didn't do now. Which is weird. It is sort of weird that it didn't do that. It should, but it may be because I have the beta system currently. Yeah, it may not work because I have the beta, but it should be working. So you can try it out on your own once One UI 8.5 is released, but I'll also try to report it into feedback that it didn't really work, because I think it's a new feature, so that's why it may not work in non-official version of the system, right? Now let's do something with our alarms. You can go to the alarms and change the alarms background to make them look even better. I mean, better, and that's it, because alarms don't look good at all. I don't like alarms, to be honest. I'll try first setting an alarm, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, let's wait. Okay, it will ring in 2 seconds. And you can see... Okay, I really wanted it on the full screen.
Hi.
But I forgot that it is the phone's unlocked, so I'll add another one and we'll see that. Okay, the alarm should appear in a second. And yeah, this is what it looks like. So it looks cool, but you can customize it. You can change it to something else. Let's dismiss that alarm. And now, if you go to an alarm, you can go down to alarm background, and now click on background, and you can, let's allow the photos and videos maybe, and you can set it to weather. So it will actually show you, hold on a second. It needs to find my location. Now I can set the weather, and now it'll show me the weather on the alarm. I can also customize it here with all these like different clocks, so that is also cool. And let's click on done. And now there's also something that already exists, but now it has new possibilities. And if you go to the settings on your phone, you will find the battery. And in the battery, you can find battery percentage, I believe that it's in the status bar settings. Yeah, we need to go to notifications and then go to status bar. And in the past, you could change whether the battery is displayed with the percentage or not. Now you can change whether it's with the background or not. So that's a weird change. That's weird that they didn't give us like 3 opportunities. Instead, we cannot get rid of the percentage. But I do like the percentage. You can just enable or disable the background if you like it. It is way more visible that way. So if you need higher contrast or just prefer a little larger text, then it's gonna be great. Unfortunately, I cannot see the option to disable the percentage. Now, as I said earlier, we'll get back into GIFs. And yes, you can turn your videos into GIFs, which is pretty sick. And I'll record a video, then we'll turn it into a GIF, and then we'll do something about it later. I have the video ready, and now, if I want to turn it into a GIF, click on 3 dots in top right corner and open in video player. Now, in that video player, you can turn it into the GIF by simply clicking on GIF right here, selecting the time to make the GIF out of, I will actually scroll there. No, it's not the beginning. I feel like it's playing backwards, to be honest. But okay, yeah, I can turn it like that. I can change the speed. And then let's save it. Now that is my GIF. If I go to, let's close that. If I go to my gallery, now I have a GIF of myself. And what I can do with it is go to contacts and set it to a picture of my own or someone else's contact. Let's set it to, hold on a second, I'll find this one. Okay, edit, and now select image, allow all, and set a GIF because that is available. You can see when I click on done, now this is what it looks like. If I click on done, now it is moving all the time. It's time to do some diagnostics of our phone. If something happens to your phone and something happens to not work properly and you're suspicious of it, which hopefully doesn't happen, but if there is something like that, then you may want to go to settings and go to your device care to diagnose your phone. You can go to diagnostics, and here you can diagnose everything about your phone. Once you go to phone diagnostics, it will start checking battery status, NFC, SIM card, power restart status, the system software, and everything will be checked. I'll stop the diagnostics, but that's what you can do later on. You can, once the diagnostics are done at least once, you can just check one certain thing. For example, Wi-Fi. I want to check Wi-Fi, then I'm checking the Wi-Fi. Speaking of Wi-Fi, there will be also some Wi-Fi diagnostics later to find the best spot at your home for best Wi-Fi connection. But now let's optimize our phone. That is extremely useful for phones that are a little older or the budget Samsung phones, but I would recommend it to anyone. You can go to device care again, and then go to auto optimization, auto restart. Now, enable restart when needed, and that will happen when the screen is off, it's not being used, the battery is above 30%, and the SIM card lock is off, so SIM card lock must be off for it to work. And then the phone will restart, so it runs in the best possible condition. Now, once we go back to contacts, if you'd like to share contact with someone, then you could just share it with a QR code. Click on three dots, then QR code, and now someone can scan it, even an iPhone, to add that contact. As you can see, that is absolutely possible. If you get a call and you don't really want to answer now, but you don't want to hang up, you can enable one gesture, which we'll do in the settings. If you go to settings, go to advanced features, motions and gestures, and make sure mute with gestures is enabled. Now, whenever someone calls you, you will be able to flip your phone to mute or cover it with your palm to mute. That's what I'll do right now. Let's receive a call. And now, if I flip my phone over like this, it is muted, but not hang up. And I can also do it in another way, which is covering like that, like on an Apple Watch or any other smartwatch, to be honest. Okay, now we have everything here. We know everything now, so let's do something else with our keyboard. With our keyboard, we can click on three dots here. No, sorry. Let's maybe go to messages and try doing it here. It used to be there, right? It used to be there. I remember like not so long ago, some time ago, there was a button here to like scan it. I'll try to find it. I can see that it has become unavailable on the keyboard for whatever reason. So instead of that, we'll try to do it another way because it's still possible, but not within the keyboard, rather within the gallery of your phone. You can take a picture of something and then extract text from it. So I'll do it. I have a card here. This is some loyalty card. Let's take a picture of it. I don't even need to take the picture because I can already click on this little button right here and it'll extract the text, so I don't need to take the picture. It automatically finds the link that I can click on, which was found here. I can also just select a part of the text to copy it or translate. Okay. Now it's time to see mic modes on calls. If there's a lot of noise going on around you and you want to cancel out that noise in real time, you can simply do it. I'll just receive a call. I'll answer it this time. And now, when I slide down from the top of the screen twice, I'll find this button here. I can select voice focus, and now whatever is happening in the background, I can just like do various stuff. It will not be recorded, and it will be just cancelled out. So that is pretty cool. Then, as I said earlier, we'll be inspecting our home Wi-Fi, so let's do it. It's quite complicated to first get into it, but once you get into it, it is easy to navigate through. Let's go to Connections, Wi-Fi, 3 dots in top right corner, and Intelligent Wi-Fi. Tap on it about 7 times, I think, and then you'll find Connectivity Labs. You can go to Home Wi-Fi Inspection, click on Start, select the Wi-Fi that you'd like to inspect, click on Next, and click on Next. Click on Start, and now it will show you your signal level. You can see it is very high right now, but if I moved further from the router, which I'll do for a moment, you can see there was a drop, and now you can just try messing around with moving your phone around or your router around if you have that possibility to get the highest scores here. And if it goes below the weak signal level, then you may want to actually try figuring something out, but the higher it is, the better it is. Now, it is time to change our notification pop-up style. If you go to notifications and find the notification pop-up style, you can set it to brief or detailed. I'll show you the detailed one, what it looks like. This is what it's gonna look like once I receive the message. It's a detailed one, right? I can already click on reply, mark as read, or just slide it off. But if I want a brief one, so it takes less of my screen, I can set it to brief one. And then when I receive a notification, it will look like this. And I can still click on it to get the detailed version. Okay, now it's time for separate app sound. Maybe you know the struggle of, for example, listening to some music and then on a speaker, and then maybe wanting to listen to a voice message at the same time without pausing the music and without needing to switch back to your phone because you don't want anyone to hear the voice message, or maybe watch some TikToks while the Spotify is still on. You can do it. You can go to settings and you can go to sounds and vibration, separate app sound, turn it on, and then select which apps will be played on a different audio device. I will select Spotify here and YouTube maybe. Then select the device as Bluetooth device, and now If I am connected to that Bluetooth device, then if I play Spotify or YouTube on that other device, then I can still play some other sounds on my phone at the same time, like the voice messages, some phone calls, or TikTok. So that is pretty cool. I absolutely love that feature. And now it's time for another one. If you don't really hear your notifications because your phone is muted all the time, for example, or it's somewhere far away and you want to see them visually, you can enable something called LED notifications. And for that, you need to simply go to accessibility settings, then find hearing enhancements and find the setting flash notification. Now enable camera flash notification, and I'll show you a preview. It's just gonna flash your camera twice when you get a notification, and you can set it for different apps, of course, enable or disable it, and then you'll visually see that you have gotten a notification or a call as long as your phone is like that. You'll also see it if it's in your pocket, if the pocket is a little bit see-through. So I think that it's pretty useful, and it's also easier to find your phone that way. If you lose it, someone can call you and you'll see it immediately. Now let's go to a part of this video, because we're already like three-fourths of the video through, which is Good Lock. Good Lock is an application that you can download, and it gives you so many customization options that I really want to share that with you. Let's go to the Good Lock. In order to do it, first you'll need to find the Galaxy Store. Then find Good Lock. Now download it. You can see it downloads pretty quickly. Open it up, and within Good Lock there will be several applications that you can use in order to customize your phone. And there's a lot of them. You can see, for example, the Navstar. You can customize your navigation and everything. But what I wanted to show you first was it should be somewhere here. I think it was Lockstar or something like that. Okay, I understand why the Lockstar is not there. It is because I have the beta version and the app was not yet created for the beta version. So instead of that, I'll show you a few other things that I still want to show you in the Good Lock. Let's find Navstar. You download an app like this, to click on it, and now you can enable it, and you can do a lot of different things here. Let's select buttons. Let's turn the buttons on. I'll need to switch to buttons because I want to customize buttons now. Let's turn it on, and now I can switch to different icons here. You can see that gives you a lot of different options, and it is fully free, as you can see, and also it is like in the Samsung store, so it's not a sketchy app because it's in the Samsung store. And you can add a new configuration and actually change the icons to whatever you wish. I'll do something weird, and I'll do recents like that, home like the sun, and back like the moon, and close keyboard. I'll let it be the moon as well. You can change the button layout as well, and you can add a button. Let's say I want to add a button for volume up and volume down, and let's add it like that. Done. And I can also change the buttons of that. And once I do, let's hit and save, and now you can see this is what I have done. Pretty cool, right? And in the Good Lock, as I said earlier, we'll have many other options So if I, for example, go to Good Lock and get, let's say, the edge lighting plus, which is really cool. You can add more edge lighting to your phone. So if we go there, you can enable it, and then you can set custom style, and you can add some edge lighting for your notifications, because your notifications can have edge lighting, which I haven't mentioned you about yet, but you can see there's also color available. I'll do maybe no effects. Okay, I'm removing effects now, so that's not pretty convenient. Yeah, maybe let's do this one then. And now when I go to my settings, I go to notifications again. Which are just here, and go to notification pop-up style, add lighting effect. I think I don't need to do that because it's already enabled in the edge lighting. So yeah, basically I think that here it should already work. You can do style by keyword. For example, if there's a keyword here in the notification content, then or in the notification title or in the content, then it will have a different style as well. So I think that it's pretty cool. And there's way more other things that you can do with that Good Lock app. Now let's go back out of the Good Lock and let's try to see some other stuff. We will see the Google search widget. If you'd like, you can press and hold on it. Go into it. Click on the Google icon, click on your icon right here. Then go to settings and customize the search widget. And you can set it to any color whatsoever. Change the transparency. Let's set it to some pretty color maybe. Change the transparency. And now, as you can see, this is what it looks like. Now, you remember the alarm backgrounds. You can also do call backgrounds, and you can change them by going into three dots in top right corner, then settings in the phone app, and finding the call backgrounds here. And you can just select the background and change it to, for example, a video or a photo that you have. Let's say I'll select this one with the candles that I have done, and I can set it as a call background. And now it's for all my calls, but I can also customize. I believe I can customize it for the contact, for one contact. Let's see if I can. I don't see that option, to be honest. So maybe not. But I can change it for all calls. And if any caller has a profile card here, then this is what it's gonna be displayed in the background, like for this contact that I have set my GIF for. Now, another feature which uses AI, but it uses Google AI, not Galaxy AI, is circle to search. When you press and hold on the home button, or if you have the navigation bar, just press and hold on the navigation bar, you open the Google search, but now you can also circle something to search for it. And it will find you similar images on the internet, and you can also scroll down to see some articles about it, or sometimes there will be also the Gemini AI overview to tell you more about it. If you'd like to increase the contrast of the fonts on your phone, simply go to the accessibility and vision enhancements. Now you can enable high contrast fonts to have better contrast of the fonts if you can't see them well because they have too low of a contrast. Then you can also go back to voice recorder and find something really cool. while doing a voice recording, if something important happens during that, you can add a highlight and it'll be highlighted. Then later on, once you finish recording the video, all the highlights will be saved and you will be able to view them, and based on that, skip to that important part of the recording, or it'll help you edit the recording. So let's finish it now. Let's save it. And if I go into it, you can see there are the highlights. I can find the highlights here and I can just go through them. So that is pretty cool. I can also go to bookmarks and add notes to them, which is really helpful. Now it's time to do one more thing for customization on our phone, actually two. One of them is going to be in the wallpaper and style. You can find color palette and you can adjust your whole phone's appearance to that color palette. You can enable it. Now select a color from your wallpaper or basic colors available here. I'll set one from my wallpaper, let's say this one, and now when I apply it, it's gonna be applied all across my system apps and my phone, as you can see right now. So that's cool. And it's time for another customization stuff, which is Galaxy themes. If you go to Galaxy themes in the settings, you will find many different themes. And since 2026 is coming, let's see if there's some free themes for that, because I would love a free one, but I see they're all paid, which is great because you pay the creators of it. You don't pay Samsung for it, you pay the person that has created the theme. Let's try finding top and finding the free ones, and I will just try setting something maybe for Christmas. Christmas is over already, but okay, we have some 2026 theme here. And yeah, as long as you want, you can just click on download, apply it. I don't think this theme is like really pretty, but if you find a pretty theme, then it may make your phone look really cool. One more thing, I'll show you how to go back, because now it's very different than your typical experience on the phone. And if you'd like to switch back, just go to your settings, go to the themes, go to menu, my stuff, themes, and select the default one and apply it. Now, things for privacy, safety, and security. Go to settings, go to your privacy and security, and find auto blocker. That will protect your phone when enabled from different things. You cannot install apps from unauthorized sources, so malicious apps are prevented. You cannot add any commands via a USB cable. Some non-official software updates are unavailable, and it blocks malware images in messaging apps, because that's also possible. So it blocks that. And sometimes you may want to disable it. So you may also want to turn on automatically. So when you want to disable it, you do something, then it enables itself back on after those 30 minutes. Now, one more thing in those security and privacy is lost device protection, theft protection, and theft detection lock. If you turn it on and your phone's unlocked and someone picks your phone and runs away with it, it will lock itself automatically. Now, it's time to set up our safety and emergency features to make sure our phones work in the moment we need them the most. In medical info, in safety and emergency in settings, you can find medical info and add it, like your name, medical conditions, blood type, allergies, pregnancy info, and everything else, and then save it so doctors can find it pretty easily. They'll probably know how to do it on a Samsung phone, because they can find the info when the phone is locked. Then emergency SOS, if it's enabled, make sure the emergency number to call is set to the one that is available in your region. Now when you press the side button 5 times, you can now swipe to call the emergency number really quickly. Now you can also add emergency contacts, so they will be also called once, notified once you call the emergency contact, the emergency number, once you press on the power button 5 times. And now something else, to make it a little different, let's go to advanced features and find dual messenger. Now you can copy some available apps to duplicate them, but that will, you can use separate contacts list if you want. I don't. And now you can have multiple accounts on 2 different apps, and it's sort of different than locking the app because it's both are gonna be unlocked. I'll unhide the Facebook for now, just so we can see that there's 2 apps, right? There's actually gonna be 3. So I have the Facebook here, and yeah, it disappeared from here forever, I think, because no, I haven't unhidden it. Okay, I need to click on done. Now I have 2 Facebooks here and another one here. So I have 3 now. One is hidden, and 2 of them, it may be, for example, your main account and your work account, so you don't need to re-log in all the time. Now, if you don't use your phone as much, or you just don't need full performance, at a certain moment or all the time, you can enable the light performance mode. You can see it is in device care. If I go to device care, I will find it. Performance profile, and set it to light. Now it will prioritize the battery life and cooling efficiency over processing speed. So if you don't need your phone to be the fastest and you don't need to play some games and don't need that much of a performance, you can set it to light if you like. Then some other things to save your battery is deep sleeping apps, because apps refresh in the background, but some of them don't need to, like games. Do games need to refresh in the background? Absolutely not. So you can put them into either sleeping apps or deep sleeping apps. Sleeping apps means that they will refresh occasionally, and deep sleeping apps will only work once opened and will not refresh in the background. To do it, go to your battery, background usage limits, and you can select sleeping apps and deep sleeping apps and add apps here that you'd like to be sleeping. I think that honestly, I don't really need like some avatar stickers and Galaxy avatar to refresh in the background, so I'll add it here, and that's how it works. Now, I wouldn't put deep sleeping apps into sleeping or deep sleeping apps, things like messengers or some other communicators, because you want notifications from them on time. If you want notifications on time, don't make your apps go to sleep. Now, let's see some other thing to save our battery in notifications, app notifications. Now, for apps you don't need notifications from, you can just disable notifications, so they don't need to push these notifications, and that saves your battery. So I'll disable tips, I'll disable Samsung members, and if I had some games, I would probably disable them as well. Then on your home screen, you can change the grid to fit more apps. We've already fitted many apps, right, with those folders, but that's sort of a weird workaround. You can fit more apps normally, or fit less apps if you don't want that many apps. And to do that, go to your home screen settings in the settings and find home screen grid. Now you can set it to 4:6 or 5:6. On different Samsung phones, these options might be different here. Then app screen grid also can be changed. And folder grid can be changed as well. Now you can see that the apps are smaller and there's more that fit on my screen. Now it's time to speak about RAM Plus. If your phone is a little laggy, if you have a budget or an older Samsung phone, or if you want more performance on your Samsung phone, even if it's the S25 or S26, which is about to roll out soon, then you may want to increase the RAM storage on your phone by using a swap file, so-called swap file. And to do that, go to Settings and go to your device care. Then go to Memory. Start seeing my memory. And I can find RAM Plus. You can see by default it's already enabled in my case to 8 gigabytes. I can set it to a higher value, but remember, these gigabytes are used from your internal storage, so you may actually sometimes want to decrease it if your performance is okay, but you want to have more storage on your phone. So yeah, that is also the thing. And it requires a restart after changing it. Now, you know how difficult it is to send files between iPhones and Samsung phones and Android phones. Because on Samsung, it is easier. You can select any file whatsoever that you'd like to share with anyone. Then, click on the share button, and on Android phones, there is a feature called Quick Share, but it shares only with Android phones. What if you wanted to share it with an iPhone? Click on QR code or link. It will generate a QR code. Now someone can scan it. I'll scan it. And now you can see I can download the file on my iPhone from the browser. So that is really, really cool. Then you can find flashlight brightness control if you'd like to make your flashlight brighter on your phone. Press and hold on the flashlight icon in the control center, enable it, and now you can change the brightness intensity level. Of course, the higher, the more battery you'll use, and also it may get a little warmer. Then it's time for some extra brightness on our phone. If you want extra brightness on your phone, if you want to unlock it, go to Display and go to your brightness. Now you can simply turn it all the way up here in Settings, because you cannot turn it that high up on the slider here. So you can just set it here, or even disable adaptive brightness and enable extra brightness. It's gonna make your screen so bright that you cannot see anything right now on the camera, but it is really bright right now. So that's what you can do here. But remember, it's not really good for your eyes, so only use the extra brightness in some like light environments, like full sun, that make you not see some things on the screen. Now, once we're already in display settings, one more thing is screen timeout. That thing I always change because I think by default it's set to 30 seconds. And I'm that kind of person that talks a lot while recording a video. And as you'll see, the phone screen will go off pretty quickly. So if I go somewhere, if I start talking to you, then it'll go off, and you need to tap on the phone again and again. And it's just up to you what value you set it to. If you're a kind of person that forgets to turn their phone off after using it, then maybe the lower value will be more beneficial to you, because yeah, you can see that. Because the phone will lock itself automatically, but I prefer 10 minutes, so I don't need to tap on the phone all the time. You can also enable keep screen on while viewing, so it will just use your camera to see if you're looking at the screen before it turns on, so it doesn't turn off if it sees you looking at the screen, but I don't like it. I don't want my camera to be turned on randomly after like whatever amount of seconds of no tapping on anything on the phone. Now, one more thing, because before we move to the last two features, so we have three features now to do. One of them is the volume adjustment. This is pretty known, but for example, for iPhone users, it may not be, for former iPhone users, it may not be that obvious. When you adjust the volume, you can click on three dots here to adjust volumes for different types of things. For your system volume, not like system sounds like tapping on the keyboard or some buttons, notifications, AI assistant like your Gemini, ringtone, and the media. So it's all different levels. And now let's get to two last features which I have specially prepared. One of them is if you ever want to give your phone away to a very young child or an elderly person or someone who's just not really experienced with phones, you can set it into simple mode and the phone will be a little simplified and easier to use. To do it, go to your, I think it's in display, or maybe not. Hold on. Okay, it should be in display. They have just changed the name from simple mode to easy mode. Now, when I enable it, you can see everything gets larger on the screen, like pretty much larger, and I think easier to use. You can add favorite contacts to one of the pages here. You can open a magnifier pretty easily. Yeah, everything is just larger and easier to use. So I think that's pretty cool. And also the settings are going to be, I think, simplified, if I remember well. No, they're not. Okay, never mind. They're just normal. But everything is bigger on the screen and easier to navigate through.
And for this last thing, I actually needed to modify the setup because as you can see, I have a monitor here. And what's different about the monitor here is that it displays the One UI. That is because my phone is connected via USB-C to HDMI cable and it is in the Samsung DeX mode. Now my phone is laying right here and I can use it as a trackpad and I can just use the system on my phone but displayed on a big monitor. So that is really, really cool. And if you'd like to enable it, if it doesn't work, it won't work on all Samsung phones. I'm sure it works on the S series and the Z series Samsungs. You can just do it in the connected devices and Samsung DeX, then make sure that the connected display is set to extended, not mirrored. And now, as you can see, this is what it looks like. I can easily open the touchpad and use it like so. It even opens the keyboard as well, like this, or I think I could move it to my Samsung as well, but it used to be just on the Samsung in the past, but now it's here. Never mind. This is how the Samsung DeX looks. It is sort of like a bonus at the end of the video. I hope that you liked the video, that you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments down below which of the features is your favorite one. Feel free to share the video with anyone else that owns a Samsung. If you know anyone that owns an iPhone, there's also a video about 100 tips and tricks for an iPhone in 2026. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in more videos.